Huzzah! Pixar decided to mix two of my favorite things, and it feels like they did this just for me. They mixed animation and fantasy and turned out to make a beautiful gem of a film that is Onward. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new movie review. Today I'm going to be discussing Disney and Pixar's brand new film, Onward. And of course, if you guys are excited about this movie, stay tuned till the end of this video on how to find out how to win 2 free tickets to see Onward in theaters, coming out very much soon, guys. But of course, I've been so excited about this movie. I love Pixar. When they have a brand new film coming out, I'm going to be there first day or as early as possible to see the film. But when they announced this one, I was kind of taken back. I'm like, a fantasy suburban neighborhood type of movie, okay, whatever. But once they added in that dad element, that's when I said, okay, I'm sold and I'm ready to cry my eyes all out. Of course, though, if you guys are new here, though, and you guys love early movie reviews, or in general just love talking movies and geeky content, make sure again to hit that like and subscribe button, where I do tons of content like this on a daily basis. And also make sure to comment down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys excited for this one? Have you already seen it? Let's discuss it down there. Onward is set in a modern day suburban fantasy world where 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley, go on a journey to discover if there's still little magic left out there in order to spend one last day with their father, who died when they were too young to remember him. That crux of just hearing that line, them wanting to spend one last big day with their father, who they never really got to meet, is the crux that sold me on this film and made me want to prepare. And I'll just straight up say this. If you have lost a loved one, or if you've lost a father, a mother, or someone that's been close to you, definitely make sure to bring some tissues, because there are multiple times throughout this movie where I was bawling, where I had tears dripping out my eyes, and there are a couple moments where it just hit me in the heart, and I went, God, that's hitting me pretty hard. Pixar knows how to hit those notes so well, and Onward is such an emotional journey, while at the same time a very entertaining journey at the same time. I didn't expect that from this movie. I didn't expect the emotional element at the very least. I knew this was going to be entertaining, but I was so shocked by how great this movie was that it took me back by storm, because when this movie starts, I'm like, this is a good movie. But as it keeps climbing and climbing and climbing towards its third act, it just got better and better and better. And there comes a moment within the first act where I said, this is about to be top tier Pixar level if it keeps continuing on this journey, and it surely did. Because first off, the animation we already know is going to be astounding, but it truly is astounding. The attention to detail to every little bit of this world is so creative and imaginative that this is very much something different that I don't think Pixar or even Disney has touched on in quite a while. I would go as far as to say the last really imaginative, creative experience like this was probably Inside Out, in the whole world that they had developed inside there, or maybe even Coco. But when you look at this world and the universe and the mythology that they build upon in this modern day fantasy world is so unique. Every little attention to detail to all the little mythological beasts that we've grown up seeing in Dungeons and Dragons, or in general Lord of the Rings type-esque worlds, we've fallen in love with those, and the way that they are able to put them into this modern day setting is one of my favorite things that they were able to do inside this film. A creative aspect really just runs amok throughout the whole movie, and even pours inside to the story, because this story just feels very much passion filled. I can feel that the developers, the creators, and everyone on board this cast and crew had some sort of stake and passion inside this story, and the way that they were able to pour it throughout it, with really telling a story of 2 brothers who just want to spend the last day with their father that they possibly can, is an emotional journey. I love now how we have a Frozen movie that tells a story about 2 sisters, and now we have Onward, which is about 2 brothers. I love that these animation stories are able to tell stories like this, and just diving into that father element one more time, I mean, really, it hits me with a gut punch. And while there are certain predictable elements with the story where you definitely know where certain things are going to happen, the way that they go about this journey and the way that it kind of goes about it, it's very entertaining, and there are certain, again, set pieces that I wasn't expecting to get to, and I didn't see coming out of nowhere. Even though there are some predictable elements, it never took away from the story. Of course, with the story, you got to talk about the characters, and Ian and Barley Lightfoot, the message that both these brothers kind of bring about when it goes towards siblings or family is very much emotionally right. And I love the gem that Pixar was able to put inside their relationship between one another and the entertaining values. Tom Holland is such a sweet, centric character. And he's so good at emphasizing that and all the different emotions when it goes about. But Chris Pratt really stole the role as Barley. There's a couple instances inside this movie where you're really touching on some heartstones that maybe siblings like to go through. And I really liked how Barley was able to portray and how Chris Pratt was really able to emphasize on those emotional parts. Of course, Julia Louis-Dreyfus as their mother and Octavia Spencer as a manticore were absolutely wonderful inside this whole entirety. And there actually is a stepfather type character in this movie played by Mel Rodriguez, who I want to say this, I absolutely really liked what they were going for in this, and if I had any sort of nitpick, I think that's the one role I wish they would have dived in a little bit more deeper into, because I think there is a big message that can take place in there, and some stepfathers or stepmothers will be able to take back on and be like, hey, I can kind of relate to that, and I wish they would have dived just a little bit deeper into that instead of the basic bare bones of what they told the story. Maybe they did in original cuts, and maybe they decided to take it out because it took away from the whole overarching story, but I thought there was a little bit more detail of a subplot that you could have done in there. But really, when it comes down to this story, I had a big smile on my face and I had tears in my eyes. One more thing I kind of wanted to just mention when I talk about that world of Onward that they decided to build in. Of course, like I've already mentioned, that this is taking place in a modern day suburban fantasy world. This is your typical fantasy world with unicorns, elves, dwarves, pixies, dragons, whatever you want to mention it. They're all in there. But the way that they're able to kind of like show that world and then show how it developed into a modern day suburban fantasy setting was one of my favorite things that this movie was able to portray, and again, built on side the mythology that was so unique. Before I give you guys my final thoughts on Onward, make sure again to comment down below. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys excited for this one? Are you not? Am I hyping you up a little bit more for this movie? Well, let me know down below, guys, in the comment section. Of course, if you guys are also new here, make sure, again, to hit that like and subscribe button. And, of course, head over to Scanlon Films if you guys are interested in seeing movies early. And, of course, just a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Onward is Pixar's true gem. I love this movie. It's top tier Pixar to all sorts of levels. It's emotional. It'll tug at the heartstrings. It'll definitely make you tear up, definitely make you cry. Make you call your fatherly figure and let them know, hey, I love you a ton. Makes you want to call your sibling, let them know how much you appreciate them. And the messages that pour out throughout the story feel so perfected. It feels so passionate. And when I walked out of Onward, I had tears in my eyes. I had a big smile on my face. And I just felt so satisfied after walking out of Onward. This movie, my hype level was so high for this. And I walked out with just so in love with it. I wasn't expecting to come out this much in love with it when they first announced it, but I'm so happy that we have another great Pixar film to add to the lineup. So with all that said, I'm going to give Onward an A. Of course, many of you guys are wondering, how do I win tickets to see Onward? So, I have 2 more to give away. I already gave away 1 from my vlog, but I had 2 more in my little bag to give away. So, how do you get these? So the biggest way and the easiest way to do this is to make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I want you guys to make sure to send a screenshot of them to me over on Twitter, and make sure to also follow me on Twitter at Pope the King. I'm going to be pretty much picking a random person when it comes up to that week of Onward and announcing it in my Pixar ranking that week, which should be going up the Thursday night of its showing, so that way you'll be able to go and see it that weekend if you win. Thank you guys again so much for watching this, though. It really means a lot to me. I love Pixar. You guys know that's my favorite thing. I love Toy Story 4 last year, and I'm so in love with Onward. It just truly is a brilliant piece of cinema. And I'm so happy we have this new world to play around in, and I can't wait to see it again, guys. Make sure to, again, hit that like and subscribe button. And, of course, I'll make sure to catch you guys soon. So, of course, until next time, huzzah! Stay classy, people.